Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest 4-seat cars in terms of lap time as of the Arena War update. As always, the position counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right, and if you're interested in the performance of all vehicles in the game, check out the playlist link in the description or the pinned comment alongside the top speed testing series. If you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. And for the performance of any future vehicle editions, feel free to subscribe for new testing videos every Thursday and check out my Patreon or become a YouTube member if you'd like to support me and get testing results early. So 4-seat vehicles is certainly something that's been asked for quite a bit, so I figured I would just go over them now. All 10 vehicles here and the 10 vehicles that we'll see in the top speed version of this video next week are all 4-seat vehicles, but this would also be the same list if we included any vehicle that had more than 4 seats. So 6-seat cars, 8-seat cars, all that kind of stuff. All of those are slower than the 10 vehicles that we see here. So the fastest 6-seat vehicle wouldn't make this list, the fastest 8-seat vehicle wouldn't make this list, and so on and so forth. Now, just to point out that if you want to do any off-roading during this stage, if you've got 3 other friends and you're going to be going off-road a lot, the Camacho or the Kuruma are the 2 that you should go for because they have incredibly low off-road traction loss statistics, values of 0 and 0.15, which makes them much better off-road than anything else that's seen here. But obviously these tests are all done on the regular track. Now, in terms of armour, the Shafter V12 armoured version, as we see here, is the quickest armoured 4-seat vehicle. All of the other vehicles that we'll see in this list don't have any, extra armour on them, so just the regular stuff. And yeah, when you take into account the lap time, obviously this gets a 1 minute 5.266. We're going to see very small differences in lap time for the next few vehicles, with the Toros here with a 1 minute 5.233, and then we've got the regular Shafter V12 in 4th place, just missing out on the top 3 with a 1 minute 5.1, so very close. But you got to take into account that the armoured Shafter V12 isn't all that much slower than even the top vehicle that we'll see in this list, so you've got to decide what you want. Do you want off-roading ability with the Camacho and the Kuruma? Do you want more protection with the Shafter V12? Or do you want ultimate, speed around the city, say for example, or in the areas that you're going to be driving for 3 other people around? And that's what this list is here to do, to show you the top 10, and then you can make your own decision. Now, also something to point out is that this obviously doesn't include planes, helicopters, anything like that. So this is just strictly speaking for cars, land vehicles, I guess you could say, that have 4 or more seats. This would be the top 10 list for. Now, as we come into the top 3, we see some interesting vehicles with the Raiden in 3rd place with a lap time of 104.498, so our first 1 minute 4 lap time. But it's something that should be taken into account at this point is cost and price. So the top 3 vehicles, the 3rd, 2nd and 1st places, all cost over $1 million in game, and it's actually the cheapest is the Raiden here that costs 1.375 million, with 2nd place and 1st place being around 1.5 million to buy. Now, our 4th placed vehicle, the Shafter V12, only costs 116,000, so almost a tenth of the price. And our cheapest vehicle in this list is actually the Sultan in 8th place, that only costs 12,000, so 100th of the price, more than 100th of the price of our top vehicle. So, that's also something that you need to keep in mind. Again, the Shafter V12 armoured version is only around 300,000 to buy as well. So all of the vehicles outside of the top 3 are below $500,000 to buy. It's just this top 3 that, they are the quickest in terms of lap time. Obviously the Revolta here, almost half a second quicker than what we saw from the Raiden with a 104.1. Only the 17th best vehicle in the sports class, but the 2nd best 4-seat vehicle overall. But they're all expensive. The top 3 are very expensive, so you do have to keep that in mind when you're making your buying decisions. But ultimately, the number 1 quickest 4-seat vehicle in the game is the Neon, with a lap time of 1 minute 3.298. It's even in the top 10 for the sports class, which has a ridiculous number of vehicles, and it's all because of its acceleration. The Neon has some incredible acceleration, especially when you're comparing it to everything else in the sports class. It is ridiculous. So if We're going to obviously see the top speed testing version of this video next week. If you're going to be driving a long distance up the highway, the Neon isn't the one you want to have. The Neon doesn't even make it into that top 10 video that we're going to be seeing next week for top speed for 4-seat vehicles, because it's an electric car. But if you're going to be zipping around the city or smaller roads, the Neon is incredible in terms of the acceleration that you get, and the fact that you can fit another 3 people in here. You can take 3 of your friends, 4 people, zipping around the city super quick, and obviously the lap time that it gets is based around the fact that it has that incredible acceleration. Obviously we've seen other vehicles that have good acceleration, but they're not that great in terms of cornering or braking. The Neon isn't, on the Feltzer levels of traction or anything like that, but it's mainly that acceleration that gives it its lap time. And the comparison here between the Neon and the armoured Shafter V12, I wanted to show a comparison between the ultimate fastest of the Neon and the fastest armoured, more protected vehicle that you could get with the Shafter V12. And around the first half of the lap, they're actually pretty closely matched. They're pretty average sports cars until you get to those acceleration zones where the Neon is able to pull away, because of that incredible acceleration that it has, due to the fact that it's an electric vehicle and it's just got significantly better acceleration than almost every other electric vehicle in the game. It's that good from a standstill. So this top 10 list for 4-seat vehicles is actually quite varied. It's surprisingly diverse, and there's a lot of different options that you could choose. You may want to get multiple of these vehicles if you have the money and you're going to be utilizing them in different situations, whether it's for armor and protection or off-roading or just going around the city. But obviously, again, next week we're going to be seeing the top speed version for this video, showing the best 4-door vehicles, 4-seat vehicles in terms of top speed, and that's going to give us a different list as well. So keep an eye out for that for next week. But for now, hopefully this video has been helpful. Remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, subscribe for more, and consider supporting on Patreon or becoming a member on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.